can't see. I don't know.
Shut one.
Can you see?
We can see us.
Can you see you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Turn it just that way.
Well,
tiny
that
bit.
way,
Oh,
because you
whoa.
want to see Andy
Okay.
as much as possible.
Perfect. Oh, here.
Are you guys backwards on it?
No.
No, we're
I don't
good.
know. Are we on?
Yeah.
You're on.
Oh, we're on. The last night of
Does
Trophy
it say
Cup.
live?
I can't see that far.
There's like red up here
Yeah,
somewhere.
there's a red up there.
Okay, good.
We're good.
Go.
Okay.
Classic.
Final night of Trophy Cup. So,
Hi, dollar.
to start this off, I've got a sweatshirt and a jacket, and I just took my hood off. This guy's in a t-shirt. Is your alcohol keeping
Thanks
you warm?
to Cindy Morrison, we shared a tequila shot at the end of the night.
God.
Warmed me up a little bit. We're good.
Candace got shit-faced one year at the banquet at Chico on tequila, and I could smell it on her breath for like 3 days afterwards.
Ooh.
But it wasn't just 1 or 2
That
shots.
sounds hot to me.
Yikes. It was potent. Okay, so we talked about your situation last night, about where you were going to start potentially and where
Right.
you were in points. And I
16th
felt...
in points. You thought we were good. You thought I should have woed back to start further up in the feature.
So you exceeded our expectations, and I think
I
the team was
exceeded
like,
my expectations.
let's just not lose a spot in the heat. Let's maybe just gain 1 spot. You'll be fine.
Right. And I kind of did gain a spot in a sense because somebody dropped out, unfortunately. Brock Limley. Sorry about that. That sucks.
What happened there?
So just he had a scratch. Like, I don't know if he hot lapped or
Did you
whatever,
move up a
but
row?
he checked in.
You didn't move up a row,
No,
though.
my row didn't move up.
Yeah, you didn't gain a spot.
And then we
Stay
didn't
there.
cross or
Then-
anything.
Then
We don't
what are you
cross.
thanking him for? It didn't do you any good.
Well, I wasn't going to get dead last. He was going to get dead last. So I was at least going to get 7.
Oh, so did he still gets credit for last place in the heat race?
Yep.
Sure.
Oh,
That's how it
okay. I
works.
guess that is something to thank Brock for. Hope you're having a nice trip back to Skagit. I know them poor guys that come
Man,
from
dude,
Washington.
that's a
Yikes.
long toe.
So then you go and finish 6th, or you start 6th, you
Start
finish
6th,
3rd.
Finished 3rd. Apparently, I went 4 wide for a second.
Was that in the heat race?
Did not know that happened. Somebody's like,
Okay, yes, I remember that.
I went up to the bleachers just to watch the rest of the heat. So, man, what'd you think about going 4 wide? I'm all, did I go 4 wide? I said, there's a car outside of me. In my mind, I was only going 2 wide, so I didn't know there was 2 cars outside of them.
So let me ask you this: you're going down the backstretch. Were you going to hit the K rail if you didn't lift and get back on the track, or why did you lift?
so he actually, so as Joey Ancona, I actually gave him props because, like, I know you give crap to a lot of these kids about how they drive, like, kind of over the head. Joey Ancona, like, I felt like I've raced him a lot, really clean. I think he drives with a lot of character, so shout out to him. I thought he did good. We've been actually battling kind of all weekend, like in several different races, and
Back
that-
to our thing about how do you end up in the same races with the same guys
Right,
out of
no-
85 cars.
no kidding. It's
Sorry to
silly
interrupt.
how that happens. But yeah, I got to run on the kind of like off the bottom. Like I was real low, and I was expecting him to kind of push out high. Obviously, he couldn't because there was 2 cars. Because he kind of like
He
turned-
thought you were just 3 wide.
I know he turned down a little bit, and I had that run. I'm like, I think I'm gonna stick it, but yeah, I was so low on the track. Like my angle to the corner was not gonna be good, so I checked up. I don't even know what happened after
me
that.
do the
I think
math
I
there.
fell back to 6.
You know how they would say 8 tires is better than 4. So if there was 4 wide, would that have been 16 tires? You would have made the turn easily.
Oh.
You had 3 cars to lean on.
Oh, so I should have held it on.
And
Dang
you know
it.
what you could have said?
Driver
Hey,
coach, you
hey,
should have told me that sooner.
Hey, sorry, it's Trophy Cup. You get it, right?
Right.
You could have wore those fools out and made the turn.
No, I gave him. Yeah, I thanked him for always running me clean all weekend.
So
I
after
ran him
all
clean.
that BS, you still get 3rd in the heat.
Yeah, I did. I felt like I performed really well. I had to pass Kyle Hurst.
And where did you
Tim
end up in
Kaine.
points after all that crap?
Still 15th in points.
Then why the hell did we even have the heat race?
I
Just throw the
don't
freaking green
know.
of the day first thing in the day.
I know, because, yeah, us starting 6th, finishing 3rd, I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, we jumped up. We're going to be like top 10.
I was
points
thinking
or
that myself.
something.
I'm like, shit, now he's might in contention for a good night in the main and a good Trophy Cup points total.
Yeah.
So I go up to you, I'm like,
My-
hey, how'd
my-
you do? He goes, I'm still in the same spot.
I know. Couldn't
Whoa.
believe it.
The scorekeeper's abacus must have been rusted up or something,
Yeah,
not doing the math
maybe.
right.
I don't know. If it was Andy Forsberg, you would have been up at least several spots.
Yeah, I would have been high point guy somehow, being 39th quick, and 4th in the heat, and 7th in the B. High point guy.
Should have bought a better anniversary present.
Right?
Yeah, what's the deal? Are you not getting the job done with the scorekeeper?
I know. I need to figure something out. The stash didn't work. I thought that was gonna maybe spice some things up in the
You
bedroom.
really
Okay,
did?
so we've got lots of comments about your mustache, and I'm not gonna have you come out of the closet here unless you want to come out of the closet. and
No, apparently
explain.
I got outed.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like Ashley Smith. Hey, he loves the videos, by the way. Shout
Hi,
out
Ashley.
Smith. Like, yeah.
Thanks for
Crew
never
chief
letting
owner
neither of
of
us
the
drive a
Zoe
zero
team.
car in our
I
whole career.
know. Well, he'll give me crap because like he's actually asked me to.
He never asked me. What a jerk! I don't like Ashley anymore. Send him back. Send his ass back to Australia.
Yeah, he came up. He's all, "Is it true you're gonna be Ron Burgundy for Halloween?" I said, "How'd you
Okay.
hear that?"
Cat's out of
So,
the bag. So
yeah.
everybody, give us some
Troy,
Give
yeah,
us some quotes.
Yeah, Troy. You stay classy, San Diego.
See, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Fuck off, San Diego. Isn't that what he said?
He does,
Yeah.
and that's what got him fired.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember the bad part of the movie where
Good
somebody
boy,
says the
bad
F
boy.
word.
I love when they're singing "Afternoon Delight," talking about sleeping with this woman, and,
Yeah.
and she is a handful in the bedroom.
And the fight that escalated quickly.
Brick killed a
Speaking
guy.
Okay, now we sound like Siskel and Ebert. But
No, let's not do it.
so okay, you start sixth in the A.
Yeah. And then
Hey, okay, let me ask you this. They did a little hot lap session, and I'm thinking to
Okay.
myself, if I'm out there, I'm thinking it looks a little greasy still. So
I was putting my thumbs up, like they were asking all the drivers, like, "Hey guys, should we just go?" Well, no, inside's still greasy.
yeah,
We're good.
I was
I'm
wondering,
starting
like,
the
I'm like,
outside.
what would I tell them? And all of a sudden, the
I-
pace truck went back in the
I
infield,
know.
and they hot lapped it
I
some
gave
more.
them thumbs up because I was gonna gain at least a spot because the guys were gonna be spinning their tires on the inside.
I
But
think if
Insider
did-
insider info that what came over the radio was, well, half of them gave me thumbs up and half of them gave me
okay,
a thumbs
every
down.
driver on the inside row was doing this. Everybody on the outside was doing that.
truly, and they should have hot lapped it more. Like everybody deserves an equal racetrack.
Oh my
It needed
God.
to get
Did
worked
everybody
in.
deserve a trophy tonight too? Then Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you get stuck in the snot. Sorry for your luck.
Oh.
I'm with
Mr.
him.
Nice Guy.
But they hot lapped it some more, got the bottom worked in, and then we started sixth, fell into line in sixth, and it was just hold it wide open, just put
Were
around
you
the track.
flat-footing it the first
Oh,
lap? Yeah,
absolutely,
okay.
and then it's pulling the motor down because, like, the track's gonna slick off with 50 lap race, so you're gonna need the car as tight as possible. So early in that race, like I was just turning left the whole time, flat-footed it, motor's bogging down, but we're holding on to sixth place. There's going to be no passing because like everybody's running wide
Doing the
open
same
basically.
thing, yeah.
Yep. So then, I don't know if pole started developing in turn 3. I don't know if Caleb Montgomery, he was leading the race. I don't know if that's what happened, but
No, I'll tell you what happened.
okay.
He was hauling the ass and got in the traffic, got past the first car,
Oh.
and I won't say it was a questionable move, but it didn't work. So I'm not gonna say it was the wrong move, but it didn't work. He had such a big lead that he didn't need to do it that turn, but you don't know that as a driver.
Sure.
When you're in the lead, you know it's like you're just driving your ass off. Like you think the entire field is 23
So
abreast
funny
behind
when
you.
you're leading,
Yeah.
you hear somebody.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh no, they're right behind me, no matter how big of a lead you got.
So yeah, he ended up getting collected with a lapper. I can't remember which lapper it was, and then poor Robbie Price came.
Because he was running second
Yeah,
and
he had
just got
nowhere to
collected
go.
in it. So,
So guess what? He just passed 2
so I'm
cars.
fourth place,
Yeah.
like woo woo.
Darn.
Yeah. And then the track, like after that red, like it's so funny is that they called red initially.
Yeah, that was interesting. Why did they call it red?
Well, I think the flagman, I think
Ew.
immediately like, oh, red, and then
Or
all of a
Caleb
sudden,
still?
yeah, and then all of a sudden Dan came on, like
neither
yellow,
car,
yellow.
Neither
It's-
car tipped over.
right? But the red light was on, so
Ed said, "Sorry, I threw the red. I saw the bottom of one of their cars."
yeah. No, I thought it was a red. I was a few cars back and thought
They tried.
Somebody definitely
Both
did.
of them could have easily flip-flopped over and killed a $1,000 wing, but luckily
Yeah.
for both of those guys, their bad night didn't get badder, so at least they didn't kill a wing.
right. So then we're fourth, and then the track started widening up almost immediately after that restart.
Sitting tracks that sit do that.
Yeah, and then Golovic ended up getting by me. So we were 5th, and then had another caution, and then it was like lap 22, so that's when they used it for the fuel break and then any kind of changes. And then this guy poked a hole in my tire.
Yeah, I didn't want to see him do good, so I was like, poke a hole in that tire. So we all kind of get there, and I'm not going to act like I'm a crew guy, but I mean, immediately we noticed your tire was blistered. I mean, we don't see blistered tires
Right.
too often out here.
Yeah, Clayton Snow, when I stopped, he was kind of the first one. He's all, dude, like, you're outside, like, rubber's all blistered up.
Yeah.
I'm all, already? Like,
Yeah, I
the
was
track
like-
was hooked up. Like, how is that possible?
I started running around looking at other people's tires, and I was like,
Ours was way worse.
well, nobody's was even bad. They all looked like normal
Jesus.
right rears. So they kind of started farting around with the bleeder. Like, is the bleeder sticking? And I think the tire was sitting on the hole, on the ground.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I found a bottle of water. I'm like, there's got to be a leak in this tire. Let's roll it around. As soon as we rolled the tire, Little Rod found the hole. And I'll give you guys credit. They had a plug kit in the mule.
We've had to do that before this year.
Not
Yeah.
everybody's got a plug kit.
Good job, crew.
But they couldn't get
But
a
it
plug.
didn't work. It was like too big of a slice. to
Dave
kinda
stuffed one.
make it
Well,
work.
I will say we had to plug a right front tire one night at Placerville. This is back in the open red days before we even had closed reds, and they had like 10 freaking plugs in that thing. It looked like it had a beard out of the right side of my tire. It finally held air, but by the time it was a short fuel break, by the time we figured out there was a hole, by the time they put the first plug in there, it was like, get your asses off the track. So then, panic mode sets in, and yeah, we're good.
I had to move.
That's
Sorry.
all right. Get comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, now turn it this way a little bit. There you go. So I hear Rod's got his hand or his thumb on the hole,
Yeah.
and he sticks his head in the car and says, "You got a small leak still, a pinhole leak. Keep the tire pressure built up." And he looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm like, this ain't gonna work. He goes, "I know. I think we should change the tire." So Rod made the decision to change the tire because all that was going to happen was you probably would have spit the plug out,
Yeah,
and
right.
you would have pissed off 3 or 4 extra laps.
Yep.
So at that point, I let them change the tire, and I went back to the grandstand.
Right. So then, but it was interesting because like that was the open red, where you had all the time. Like we were pretty much the last crew on the track, but they push started me, and I immediately got off the track. But they're like, guys, this isn't your yellow, so you have no courtesy time. So then it was like a scramble. They didn't get a bleeder in, but was able to get the tire on luckily and restarted at the back of the field, like ahead of a handful of lap cars. But no, and then we were just kind of, I didn't drive very well after that. I was just kind of in the back of the pack, trying bottom to make the bottom work, trying the top. This guy was like, do not run the bottom 1 and 2, and I was trying to run the bottom 1 and 2.
Well,
So
I mean, it was
I
time to
all over
start
the
doing something
place.
different. Once you got back there, a lot of cars were on the top, so I mean, what the hell are you going to do?
Yeah.
But it was interesting, and you tried it, and you did it a few times good. Buddy Kofoid did it all weekend long, but it was run the top in 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and then turn down and hit that moisture on exit.
It was hard for me for whatever reason. I felt like I was doing that in the heat race earlier tonight, but in the main, like I would get up there, like turn the car, and then it's like almost like I was sliding too high
Yeah, it
up,
was
and I
just so
couldn't get down to
slick,
the
yeah.
K rail and like get that run like he had. So I couldn't execute it. I didn't drive very well, but we missed.
Blame the car.
No,
Yeah, but
it was
man,
me.
car was
Stupid
so
driver.
crappy.
Driver sucks. So, but missed a few wrecks. I think we ended up like 12th on the track, 11th or 12th, something like that.
I had 85 cars showed up originally,
Yeah, I mean,
so you got
and-
12th out of 85.
dude, and
That's
the
respectable.
way the weekend went, like we stunk up the show. Like we were talking about, we're gonna get a win the first night out, and I didn't even sniff the making a transfer into the A main. So, first night was bad. Second night was great, and then I really think we kept getting better all weekend long. So,
Did
yeah.
you ever make contact with any cars this weekend?
no, there was like some tight racing at times, and I stuffed my nose in there, but no, I don't think we touched anybody.
So-
See, you can do it, Andy.
Yeah, you can. You can do it.
We can do this.
There's cars out there that tipped over numerous times this weekend, and you didn't even.
no,
you
I don't
didn't
think
touch a
anybody
car.
tipped over. No, I didn't see anybody.
Either not 26 or 27 cars tipped over.
Was that the flip count?
Yeah, I
was
think
it
that's-
27
They
this
stopped
year?
counting at 25.
They stopped
It
counting.
was pushing 30, but
Yeah,
that's Trophy
no.
Cup, baby. Kofoid was impressive in the 57. He's got some just really good body English with that car, I guess, if you want to say that. Just
So is that a Paul Silva thing? I mean, hey, no offense, like Buddy, like we know, I seen him race when he was a box stock in like 4 years old. Like I knew the kid had talent. Interesting story. Like I ran.
Cute.
Oh, and he's adorable, absolutely.
yeah.
But whenever I I ran for Vertulo in 2010 maybe for Fall Nationals, and he kind of asked me, because he's the one that gave Kyle Larson his first big break in his sprint car, and he asked me, so who's the next up and comer go-kart racer? I said, oh, Michael Kofoid. And he said, I've never heard of that kid. He's all, what about the Robinsons? And he obviously he knew about the Robinsons. I'm all, this Michael Kofoid, it's impressive what he can do in a race car. So, Buddy, you're proving me right, man. Like, you were star then, star now.
I wasn't sure what to
Congratulations,
expect
Shay.
from Buddy because I haven't seen him really racing out here. You know, I know
Right.
he's out there.
And he hasn't run many wing
Yeah, I mean,
races.
he
He's been killing it in the
he was
midgets,
great.
obviously, all nationwide. But yeah, to just jump in a wing
So-
sprint car at one of the biggest races this state
You
has.
remember
Impressive.
before Dennis Gage took over Marysville, when Paul Haas had it, he would have the Tuesday night practices every Tuesday night,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
almost every Tuesday night. And Buddy's dad had a sprint car for him,
Yeah.
and they would come and practice. And I don't know how old he was. I mean, he looked like he was
He was
6.
Probably 12 or so.
I don't even know if he was 12, but I just remember I ended up at Marysville one night or one day, and he had a Steve Kinser's white Carl Kinser car.
Yep.
Silver wings, the white body
that's
with
how
the
his
Maxim.
go-karts always were.
Okay,
Yeah.
he had a Steve Kinser look-alike car, and he had this little seat in there. It was about that big. I mean, it looked like it came out of a Barbie and Ken Corvette. And I was like, holy crap, this little kid drives a sprint car? And I watched him, and he was up to speed.
Yeah.
And
he
then,
had-
you know, that was before kind of they were letting 14 and 15-year-olds race, so they just
And-
practice.
And then he was still not old enough to be 14 and race around here. So Dan Simpson, like in Reno, Nevada,
Yeah, Fernley.
said, no, well, you can race my car out here.
Yeah.
So he's 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid, whatever he was at the time, just kicking everybody's butt out there before he was. So I went to a Chico race, and for some reason I wasn't racing. I didn't have a ride. It was, I don't know if it was Super Cup. It was earlier in the year. Buddy was there, showed up, raced, won his heat, qualified well, won his heat race.
Is this
So
like
he
they
was
kicked
gonna,
him out?
yeah,
Yeah.
he was gonna be in the dash, and then Dennis Gage said, "There's a 13-year-old kid racing. He can't do that. He won his heat race. He was gonna be in the trophy dash, and they kicked him out.
That was a Civil War race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Civil War show.
So, man, great stories from that talented kid, man. It's
And it takes
Pretty
old fogies
impressive.
like us to remember him.
I know, but it's fun. Good stuff.
I would say it was a good Trophy Cup.
Yeah.
It was good to be back because we weren't here last year.
Right.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think 2019 was kind of our first camping outing. We camped for the Gold Cup that year, and then 2019 was our first time us taking the motorhome and
Oh,
camping
and your
with you
step wouldn't work.
guys,
Yeah,
and-
the step wouldn't come out in the
Yeah.
motorhome.
But that was kind of the start of this journey of us camping out and enjoying after the races and hanging out with everybody and all the good food, all the good stories, and
Yeah,
that
when's
was
a
kind
good
of the
food
start
start
of it.
tonight?
What?
When's a good what? What do you mean what? When are you feeding us?
Hey, she's a scorer. She's still got numbers to put in.
Yeah,
are
that
you
show's
done with
done.
all
Are you done?
the
No, I'm not
finishing
done.
order? Poor
You're
thing.
not. What do you got to do?
I gotta
Gotta,
do all the recaps. I gotta do payout.
all the payout. Yeah.
So people comment on here. I'm the one doing the payout.
Oh yeah, don't piss off the
Yeah,
scorekeeper.
you be nice to the scorekeeper.
Oh, you know
She's
what
the
we should
one.
talk about?
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about how there's only 23 cars in the main event tonight.
Oh no.
No, we're not. Your wife doesn't want to talk about it.
I mean, that's what we need in racing is we need fights and brawls and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
a
I
couple
didn't mean to bring that up.
couple drivers got into it in the heat race, and one of them felt like he wanted to continue it on in the pits, and old school Old
Had
school,
at it.
had at it, I
Pulled
guess.
it out of the car, all kinds of stuff.
That's the rumor. Were you down there?
I wasn't down there.
Oh,
like
shoot.
I
See, I
was
just
at.
hearing stuff secondhand, so I don't know what to
Yeah,
say.
I
But
don't know
he
either.
did get DQ'd.
And then they were going to dock the A car. He was going to start front row outside of the B per the board,
Okay.
but they had a line like you were going to the back, and then he didn't come out. Of
That
the
was
B.
not because of that.
It wasn't because of that.
He was
Okay.
he was supposed to pull out a backup car,
To pull a
and if you
backup
pull
car.
up a backup car, you
Okay.
have to go to the back. Then he decided to run his own car, or the original car, and I guess a bunch of drivers said if he goes out there, it's unsafe. We're not gonna
I
run.
wonder how bad his car was.
So then Dan went and looked at the car and said he is not running.
Oh wow, interesting.
The only thing I would have liked to seen differently how that was handled is I would have liked to seen Dom try to beat his ass on the track in front of everybody. I would have liked to seen it. I mean, that would have been great
the
for the
crowd
show.
gets so into it with just a pass happens.
I know,
like
if they would-
that
let's
was
think if there was a
happening,
fight out
like,
there.
Yeah.
How
Well,
about this
there's been
40s?
promoters in the past like, guys, no fighting in the pit. If you
Yeah.
want to fight, you go to the front stretch.
Do it in
because-
front of the stands.
Yeah, yeah.
Make it at least worth something.
That would have been fun. I know Dom did go have words with him, and I don't know what was said. I wish I would have been a fly on the wall because I love drama. It's fun to be, it's fun to know what's going on. You don't want to be the drama, but
Right.
it's nice to be involved with it enough to at least like see what was going on. So I missed out on that. Dang it. Well, 2021 Trophy Cup's a wrap. What do you think about 2022? Are you
What
already
do you
looking-
think about 2022?
Yeah, there's been a lot of conversation about 2022 for the 92, maybe the next one, the Mr. Andy Forsberg, let's get back.
Let's just say I might race a Trophy Cup someday. It might not be next year.
Look, you didn't retire.
I'm not retired from
Right,
Trophy Cup. I
right.
never said I'm never driving at the Trophy Cup. I'm
Because,
just not driving at the Trophy Cup
look,
right now.
Andy said he wasn't racing Trophy Cup, so everybody assumed, oh, fine, he's not racing
You know
racing
what they say? They
Tulare.
always say that I'm scared of Tulare. I'm not scared of Tulare. I'm scared of how people drive you here. But I can drive like an asshole too, so I mean, two can play at that game, maybe.
Hey, it's Trophy Cup.
Hey, it's Trophy Cup. I just want to tell everybody.
Move it or lose it.
I mean, I'm not saying never,
I like to hear it.
but who would be my driver coach? Are you going to take off next year's Trophy Cup?
I could be fired any minute now.
I'll be your driver.
That is
coach.
true.
It happens all the time.
You could get shit canned right before Trophy Cup next year, and you could be my driver's coach.
That's what happened 2 years ago. Yeah, happens all the time.
Oh, remember when you were my driver's coach at Hanford, and you told me I was in the wrong heat race? Remember that?
Guys, that's not what happened.
So it is what happened.
No.
He tells me I'm in the heat one or heat 4, so I go out to the campground. I'm hanging out with Candace.
I'm on my race pass.
Next thing I know, freaking they're texting me, where are you at? You're in this heat race. So I made it. Then I stop on a red flag. Oh, speaking of that, let me finish this story.
No.
I stop on the red flag. Here he comes to tell me something. I'm like, what do I believe this guy? Should I listen to what he's saying? He already told me I'm in the wrong heat race. You park on the infield tonight during a red flag. I could have. I had the right information to tell you, and you parked way down from the fence.
I didn't want to hear it.
I had the winning move.
What was that?
I'm not telling you now because I might need it next year.
You're gonna put it in your pocket.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that
Damn
move
it.
for next year. It was gonna get you from 4th to 1st in one turn.
Guys, I am not a liar. I would never tell him something wrong. I had my race pass, which is a great app that you have that shows you your lineup. Andy asks, "Where am I?" I said, "Let me look." Looked up my race pass. Oh, you're in the 4th heat, starting blah blah blah. Next thing we know, that got changed. All of a sudden, Andy's in the 1st heat race, and it's like, where's Andy? And his crew's like, guys, where's Andy? I'm like, I told him he was in the 4th heat race. That's not good. All of a sudden, he comes burning up on his 50. It's like, what the hell, Becker? I'm like, oh, sorry.
I
don't know what
that's not the only heat race I've almost missed, and we'll wrap this up. But I was sitting in the grandstands at Placerville one night and I was bullshitting with Ron Rada, and he's full of all kinds of cool stats and stuff, and I like stats, so we're talking, and he goes, hey, isn't this your heat race? I'm like, no, I'm in heat 3. He goes, this is heat 3.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! So I haul ass over, but guess what? I have preferential treatment at Placerville. Just ask anybody. So they
Sure.
waited for me, and
Of
I
course.
didn't even lose a spot.
Wow.
So
I know KK could probably like analyze my dreams and stuff, but like I
I heard you dreamt about me last night.
did, but I have dreams in the past of like me missing races. Like those are like the nightmares that I have. It's like my race is out and I haven't even gotten the car yet, and like it takes me forever to get in the car and get all my stuff and buckled up. I'm like, they're out there, they're lined up. I need to hurry, and everything's happening so slow. Like that's kind of the nightmares that
I
I
am
have.
not gonna disagree with that dream. I have those same dreams, but it has nothing to do with getting in the car. It has to do with me getting dressed,
Yeah.
putting my fire suit on.
Interesting.
So it's not a matter of getting in, but it's like we get to the track late and I'm trying to get my suit on and I can't get anything
Oh,
on. So
wow.
I have that reoccurring dream sometimes too. So it's
Drivers,
odd
let
that
me
we
know.
have that
Let us
similar
know. Yeah,
dream.
I wonder if other drivers have stuff like that.
Tell me about your dream about me last night. This is kind of weird.
So, well, buddy, you were on the chip Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
You were on the chip. You were having a great time. Friday night, he said, "No, I'm being a good boy." So he was a little laid back, and I showed up here late, and you're like, "Dude, let's get the
I was
shark tails on the
sleepy.
road." And he went to bed early, so
Early at Trophy Cup's like 1 in the morning though.
that is true. Like, yeah, like not to say you were a party pooper or anything, but
That was my fault.
no, it wasn't you, Candace. But no, I fell asleep, and then we have a little window at our bump out for our bed area, and I had a dream. Andy called, said, "Dude, we're out of here." Like he was done with Trophy Cup. It's like
So
I don't even want to stay for Saturday night.
So the dream was that I packed up tonight, like right now.
Like yeah, like the morning, like it's Saturday morning. We're not even.
Oh
Gonna stay
shoot!
for the
I didn't even
races.
stay for today.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my dream.
How about you, Lisa? When was the last time you dreamt about me?
Every day.
night.
Ow.
Ah, Mr. Excitement.
All right. Did we yak enough? This is probably too
My
long.
hand is so cold, so it might be
sometimes
shaky.
People talk about our show being too long, and all I have to tell you people, don't
Why?
tune in. Screw off. I don't give a shit. I mean, it's too long. Don't even turn it on from the get go. Call someone who cares. Guess who has 2 thumbs and doesn't care? This guy right here. That'd be 4 thumbs.
Darn it.
Okay. So Stockton's coming up in a couple weeks. That's a 2-day show, right? Don't they run Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, are you running?
I have
Friday?
no idea what the hell's going on. I don't even know if I'm running Saturday. Hell, I don't know. Maybe X1 will keep Peck out here and he can drive it. I'm not sure, but do you have any schedule?
For Saturday, for sure. SCCT with the 35, and then King of the
Oh.
West with the 83V.
Double duty?
Double duty. Stockton.
Are you taking the camper down just to hang out Friday?
I don't know. I think our next camping trip is going to be Hangtown 100.
Okay, well, I will do this at the
And
Hangtown with the
Candace
help.
will be fully healthy.
If it doesn't rain.
Have lots of...
Why are we not going
Great
Stockton?
times,
That's on my schedule.
Oh, it's on our stock. Okay, so we're
Yeah,
We're
that's on your
camping.
schedule?
We're camping.
yeah.
Oh.
And then we have the banquet the next night.
That is true.
What place and points
in
did you
Stockton.
get
But then
for
we'll
Golden
have
State?
to have a car there
Why?
to get to the banquet. we
just
take
drive
the
this.
motorhome.
Uber.
I
Try
think
this.
everybody does.
Who?
Okay.
Uncle.
All right, I
What
guess
was the guy? The uncle.
We'll bring
on-
our golf cart so you could use our golf cart, you guys.
What was the
Uncle
what-
Eddie.
Uncle Eddie. You could just drive your motor home, dump the shitter right in front of the banquet.
There's an RV.
All right. I would love to see you dump the shitter in the gutter though at the banquet place. Where's the banquet at?
It's at a country club.
Oh yeah, dude.
How much does points pay?
Dump the shitter at the country club. They will love it. I
Oh,
guarantee you.
sure.
It's fertilizer
Why
for the
not?
golf greens. Okay, so official 12th place in points at Trophy Cup. Is that what
I
we got?
don't know.
Probably something
I
like
think
that. Probably
so.
finished 12th on the track. Probably finished 12th in points.
That's good.
Not too shabby. It's
You
all
know,
right.
and the
I'll
car's
take
in
it.
one piece.
I'll take it. We
That-
had,
I mean,
yeah.
You didn't
I-
hit anybody.
I would
Didn't
like
hit
to know,
anybody.
seriously, to backtrack, how many cars out of the 85 left here with no damage?
Yeah.
Not that many.
Right.
So that's impressive.
Well, just think, it was 85 cars, right? And then flip count was almost
27,
almost
yes,
30.
30.
Like, I'm sure there was like multiple the poor guys that flipped multiple times this week, but still, like that's a high percentage of cars that.
I'll tell you this: if I was to race Trophy Cup, there will be no vinyl and no paint on my wings. And I'm not shitting you. There will be duct tape numbers on my wing because I know it's short-term product. So, I mean, I'll bring new stuff down here.
You're not
'cause-
gonna bring the candy apple red?
Oh no, I'll protect those things. Like, I mean, no. Plus, all the stuff I get from Ophio's is all beat to shit, so I wouldn't bring it down here. I have to rebuild it. That stuff's meant for
Did you
small
see
tracks.
my wing today?
It's the right sideboard. You got it. The left sideboard's got to be good here. And I will say, the F&F guys had to run one of my repaired wings because Peck tipped over the first night and ruined their good wing. I was holding my breath, man. When you fart around with the left sideboard and repairing it, these types of tracks, you don't typically run them.
Yeah.
So things survived. I was shocked. So I guess I could repair a wing, but if I come down here, I'm coming down with all new shit. So no failures, no excuses. The only excuse will be the driver. So,
Can't wait.
yeah, so if you see the 92 car here next year, duct tape numbers.
Man, we won't get to see you on the chip though, because that was pretty fun, bud.
That is one thing about Trophy Cup to have fun. You can't have lots of fun if you're racing. You got to take it seriously. I do, anyways. I mean, I don't know. These other guys can get shit faced every night. I don't care. But
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. Well, we had a thing, kind of, where I would not get drunk or anything the night before, but have a drink or whatever, and then race the next day. And there was like a streak of like, there's been 3 times you did that, and you happened to flip over like. The
when have
next
you ever
day.
drank? I've seen you
Like
drink
not
like 3
much,
times.
just like there would be a doubleheader weekend or something, and then Friday
How
night.
many times
Just,
was any of it at a race?
yeah, it was like fall nationals, and then for some reason we were racing Placerville the next day. Like I don't know
You
what
drank?
happened the day before. I don't
No.
even remember. It wasn't much, but it just so happened like we were racing for the lead. Greg DeCaris was leading at the time, and I'm all, oh, we got this guy. We're ripping the top great, and then all of a sudden I hit the cushion wrong and tipped her on its side. I'm like, damn it! But I happened to be drinking a little bit the night before, so it's like, hey, you can't do that. Don't do it.
Yeah, I've only drank before a race one
the
time.
Guys can do it, man. I don't know.
I got
That's impressive.
shit faced with Mike Benson at the Fall Nationals one year because I crashed on Thursday and we were throwing a tizzy fit. I ain't coming back on Saturday, so we went out and got shit faced on Friday. He took me to the Crazy Horse in Chico.
Did you
And-
ride the bull?
No, I didn't ride the bull. But then all of a sudden we decided to race on Saturday like a bunch of imbeciles, and I was hungover as all hell. But I ran the C to the B to the A,
Oh, okay.
but I wouldn't try to do that again.
Right,
I don't know
right.
how these guys do it. Anyways, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap, bud.
Okay, that's a wrap from Trophy
Good
Cup
Trophy Cup.
2021. They raised $250,000 for Make-A-Wish. That's insane.
It's amazing.
Oh man, these people are pissed. They're leaving. Trophy Cup, we're out. That's the second rig I've seen leave tonight. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Quite a bit. And it's
So.
late, man. Dang.
All right, turn this thing off, Lisa. Lisa, we're dumb.
Was I even filming you guys?
God, I hope so.